crime, it's rampant. It's destroying the country. We can't help it. The government officials, they are reluctant to take action. That's what it ends or informs the executive of Dudulla having to take action.
I'm praying for you, Dudulla. Whatever I'm praying to strength. So I feel yonke lento ama-drugs before bengekho lento beyikhona mhlawumbe encane okay asithi insango beyikhona intango besazi sikhula sazi ukuthi insango ikhona but le ama-drugs nani into entsha esiyibona manje and ayisiphathi kahle thina. And another thing, i-killing yabantwana, ukubulawa kwabomama, ukurape kwabomama, ukubulawa kwabantwana enye into nayo futhi engibona ukuthi iyasibulala, especially la kule country esikuyo.
So we cannot have people that we cannot account for within our systems, within our laws, etc. That's what Dudulla stands for. So we need to correct and prospectively place Dudulla's mandate into society and to the entire world at large. It's all of those fundamental issues that Dudulla is trying to address. I think, let me not expand because the spokesperson for Dudulla will have to take from...
We know in most of these RTP houses, they don't have a title deeds as yet, but it will give you some information. So that's when now we need to verify who lives in that house. If it's claimed that it's owned by a foreign national, the person now needs to say how are they living in that house, because RTP houses are only meant for South Africans. So if a person is renting out that specific home, then it means that person does not need it, then it needs to be given to someone that needs it.
The list, yala wantu ba apply, we've got the database now. So mele bangene according to alphabetical order.
So when you make a call now and you find out, what are the next steps from there?
No, we send our trustee to verify now from the phone call so that they can go physically.
So you take that information back to the housing department and you leave it to them to do something about it?
Yes, they have to take those people out.
When Dudulla executive realizes we can't help it, the government officials, they are reluctant to take actions. What do you expect people to do? But remember, it's not just a bilateral action, it's an informed action that is driven by the fact that all the consultation has been done through the government structures, through the relevant government departments, and these people are reluctant to act. I think that answers your question.
What gives us the right? Because what I'm understanding you to be saying is that because you've left it to government to do something about it and you feel they haven't done anything, they failed, and Dudulla feels that they stand for the people.
Yes.
We submitted a memorandum to the city, to the mayor of Joburg. That was the very first time when we, as Operation Dudulla, marched to a department. Our first memorandum was handed over to the city mayor of Joburg, but we did not get any response. We marched again to the union building, sending a memorandum to our own president, stating everything that we're talking about, but we still haven't received a response. So we see things are happening on a daily basis. Not even in parliament you'll hear them talking about foreign nationals. Not even the crime that's happening now, or the hijacking, the killing of the children, the human trafficking. Our government is saying nothing about it. We know that we don't have the right to be doing that. We are not the officials, but because we love our country, we felt that it's more like of a clean-up campaign. We are a pressure group. We are going to put pressure on the government. So it happens when, when we visit some of these houses, if we go to one house, then you'll see in the next coming 3 or 4 weeks, then you'll see officials running to that place now. It's more like now we're giving them a wake-up call to say, go check what's happening in that place. We deal with drugs in a certain area, even Eldos. I think a month back we were in El Dorado Park, where drugs are hectic. We went there as Operation Dudulla, and I think 3 days later, we've seen that the police officials were there to do a clean-up campaign, and there were arrests made on the specific day.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, Solomon and now you can see how people start to view you as a vigilante and brand you that way as a vigilante group?
So those ones who call us vigilantes, obviously, will have those opposition parties like EFF, because now you're saying if you open border system. But the constitution is clear. We need also, if in either borderless, it needs to sit onto parliament, even then votes or we change the constitution. But as it stands, I'm not like borderless. So we don't know what they are fighting with us, because you are must be some vigilante, including our president. As Ashigo Usan, we marched to Buya Futi, he never responded. And then Natis Bonilo Uti, if Sasha anything sensitive, we complain, but I'm not doing Zakala. So Sibai grounding. After Sibai grounding, very TV was be some vigilante. But truly speaking, Abanda was in South Africa, everybody see the land to them. They would just be some vigilante.
Not everybody is gonna like you. So sometimes it's not about the impression, it's about the real issues that you're addressing. There's a lot of perceptions about key government people being part of the problem. That's why it's not getting sorted out. That's why you will take memorandums. That's why you will do matches. That's why you will, in as much as you can, no matter how wide you open your mouth, it's still not getting heard because it's being ignored for various reasons. And you can't keep on folding your arms and say, well, what do we do? Well, what do we do? So yes, not everybody is going to be in the same page. Not everybody is going to hear and understand the advocacy of Dudulla, but something ought to be done. People are crying. It's rampant. It's destroying the country. And for our government to allow undocumented people to come into our, these people, they come and kill. We are afraid in our own houses. It's the community, it's been so conflicted at the moment. The community is full of, we don't know who's who in the zoo. And these people, they've left their families wherever they come from. And they don't, they kill. So we can't keep unfolding our arms. All we're basically saying is people need to be documented, all protocols, all government, the constitution of the country needs to be observed, not only by the citizens of the country, but by everyone that comes into the country.
We've been called xenophobic group for a very long time, but one needs to give. We cannot let this country go down the drain the way it's happening. We can't have all African countries here in South Africa. Our system is suffocating on its own. But now there's more people. We're sitting with plus minus 15 million ghosts. Those are foreign nationals that are undocumented. We don't know who they are, but when you check on census and all that, you've been told there's so many people, but they're undocumented. Who are they? When they commit crimes, who are they? That's why there's so many killings but no arrests happening. So we are not xenophobic. We just voicing these things out to our own government to say that it's enough now. We are suffering on a daily basis. We've done programs on schools whereby South African kids were not prioritized. But you'd go to a school, you'd find there's foreign national kids at the school, but our own South African kids are still roaming around the schools being told they'll have to wait for new schools to be built. It cannot be right. So we advocating for South Africans because there's no voice for them. So they are voiceless, but we thought as Operation Dudulla, we now need to stand and make sure that things go back to the rightful owners, because it cannot be right that everything goes to foreign nationals. We have military veterans who fought for this country, but they're not enjoying that. Like, what is it that they can point to say that I've went to go fight for this country and we are liberated in this country, and they can't point anything. If you see them, you'll see them, most of them, they drink, they smoke, they don't have houses, just a normal RDP house. They don't have that. No business opportunities, no housing, no jobs for them, nothing. They're just going to go and fight for nothing. So,
well, it's interesting that you bring that up in terms of military veterans, and you're referring to Mkondo Wesizwe.
it's just military veterans. So Mkondo Wesizwe is one part.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. Solomon can explain that better, but I think Mkondo Wesizwe is more of the ANC. So
we've been to camps. Those camps, they are segregated, far away from the cities. If you want to go to town, you have to get a permit. You know, you can't find us roaming around like they do here. Those ones who are saying they did a favor for us, it's lies, pure lies. I've been to Botswana, I've been to Uganda. We've been, you know.
It's basically, it was a controlled movement.
Yeah.
They were placed in various places, basically. And they would not to be just literally roaming around the streets for no reasons, as it is happening here. It was a controlled structures of ANC executive coming to training. Particularly, they were in exile for training purposes. You must be coming to the country with a work permit. You must be coming to the country with skills, bringing a specific skill that South Africans don't have, a specialized skills. And I think it applies across all other countries. So why South Africa?